I am withdrawing from the event on the 16th of July against Elbrook.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
You're dead.
I'm going to effing kill you, slag. You are fucking dead. You are dead. You are gone.
Hey guys, it's your boy, Kingpyn from Spider-Man. If you haven't seen recently, Astrid Wett decided to pull out the Kingpyn event, the fight that she was meant to have against Elbrook, or Crystal. Who cares what her real name is. Following this, she also decided to make a video on YouTube on her own channel explaining the reasons why she has decided to pull out of this event. Now, listen, I thought for you boys today a little bit of a treat. I'm gonna watch the video and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on why this is complete and utter bollocks. With having said that, like the video if you already know what's going on. Also, if you disagree with anything, leave it in the comments. I actually reply to all of them. So if you want to chat to me or debate me about it, feel free. We can have a talk about it down in the comments. Anyway, boys, let's get into this one.
I know some of you are going to be really disappointed and wanting answers, so let me explain why I just can't continue on this card. I wanted to prove to everybody that a porn star can do something different. With the boxing, I wanted it to be well respected, change the opinion on girls that are in the same line of work. I personally feel that the Kingpyn event is not the event for this. Things have changed from what we first thought when we signed 6 to 7 weeks ago. The names that we were given at the point of contract were very well known and well-respected content creators.
You're definitely not well-respected content creator. I'm sorry, that sounds really harsh coming from a nobody, but you're definitely not respected.
The matchup sounded great, but none of these people were signed and nobody had a say in who would be on the undercard of the fight. No disrespect to anybody that's fighting either. Ryan?
It doesn't really matter who's on the undercard. Like, why does that concern you? It's not your event. The only reason you're saying this is because a lot of people on the undercard, and no offense to all the fighters that are competing, but not a lot of people know who they are. They may exist in the realms of football TikTok, but they're not massive on the platform. They might be known by quite a few people, and this is coming from a nobody. I don't really know who any of the other fighters are. I really don't. Like, literally, they could have had Buzz Lightyear for all I care. Like, it doesn't matter to you who's on the undercard. You're only worried about boosting your own popularity. Say, for example, Ed Matthews and Simple Simon are fine, right? They are, right? That's already a massive boost for them. But say someone like Deji was fighting, or Joe Weller, that would boost it massively. But because the undercard is a bit of a sort of mid-league table of content creators, it's not going to boost her own popularity. Pretty much the main fights are just Ed Matthews and her, and that is literally it. There's no one else really cares about the other fighters. Again, no disrespect to you. If one of you are watching, you're fine. I'm sorry, mate. I don't mean to disrespect your career.
Taylor was added 2 days ago. In his last boxing fight, he headbutted his opponent, and that was at the Showstar event. He shouldn't be allowed in the ring ever again, let alone to fight 3 months later.
Again, that is your opinion saying why Ryan was added. Ryan is added to give more hype to the company. Literally, yes, he did headbutt someone, and I do not condone it whatsoever. It's pretty disgusting if you did that. Even in UFC, that's illegal. Even like a street fight, that's kind of illegal anyway. Like, that's just a silly thing to do.
Kingpyn is a rebrand from Showstar, the same company that had Ryan last time. To talk about the press conference on Wednesday, I was on edge the whole time. The event was made free, which meant that anybody could buy a ticket. 1,500 tickets were sold and only 150 people turned up. That was their first mistake. We were waiting around for nearly 4 hours as the timings were messed up.
Well, given my previous experience from being in a fight, usually like the press conference or like the showcase at the start usually takes a while because they have to wait for everyone to turn up. They also have to get everyone seated. They also have to get everything properly set up. So saying that the timings were messed up, I think 4 hours is pretty good if you ask me. Like, that's not a bad time.
Fans were chucking, throwing, lobbing things and running onto the stage the entire event.
The reason why I also think it was free, don't forget that also the KSI and Logan fight press conference was also free. So saying that like you don't like the fact that it was free is a bit funny to me, because again, who's going to turn up if you have to pay for the press conference when the fight is a month away? No one, barely anyone would pay for it. And plus, even if people did pay for it, and bearing in mind the audience range is probably from about, I don't know, anywhere from 14 to like 18, I guess. Maybe mid-teens. They're not going to pay for it. And even if they did pay for it, they would still do the same crazy shit that went on. Like, what are you expecting here? It's a teenager TikTok crowd.
Simon and Ed started full-on fighting behind me, and then Simon assaulted Ed 2 minutes into the press conference.
They already know like what's already been going on with Ed Matthews and Simple Simon. They knew that something might happen, hence why they are sitting on opposite ends of the stage. Did you not think about that as well? Also, when he came up to him, they also need some kind of drama to happen, but security was there to step in and pull them away. Also, security was there to stop anyone from getting on stage, and like, because you can't... Listen, stuff like this happens in instants. This is why it happens on football stadiums. You don't see it right away. So, what do you want security to do? Do you want them to have like a ring of people around the stage? Like, it's just, you're asking for a lot, love.
Elle was allowed to bring a coffin onto the stage during the press conference.
The whole point of the coffin thing, I feel like, was just a meme she was creating just to wind you up. And to be honest, it looked like it worked.
The day after, somebody tragically lost their life in the boxing ring. I understand there's funny beef back and forth. I can take that, but that is just something you don't joke about. In the boxing world, I've learned that you don't joke about, I'm going to kill you and you're going to die, because sometimes that does happen.
Now, I will mention there was a boxer that did tragically die a few days before this press conference. And listen, it's a sport where you're going to fight each other. A lot of people don't understand it is dangerous. It can be very hurtful towards you. People have ended up with brain damage or other like misfortunate things happen to them. But at the end of the day, you signed up for this. This is what these people sign up for. Yes, it's not great that someone tragically lost their life. I'm not saying that like I'm trying to justify, oh, that it just happens. No. However, by saying that like her making the two comparisons to her bringing a coffin out on stage and saying that she's going to effing kill you, a lot of boxers use this expression just to put fear into their opponent. This is purely trash talk. This is not anything that she took seriously or decided to make a joke out of. I feel like you're looking too much into that just to find a problem.
Even after the event, I alerted them and Elle's team of the situation, and nobody apologised. In fact, they condoned it, as Elle reposted a video on her story talking about how funny she is. Not only was Elle hugely disrespectful by using horrific language, making awful jokes, but she also came out half naked in a bikini, fully well knowing that the average age of the audience was about 14 years old.
The thing you say about the bikini and saying it's very inappropriate, didn't you also get your tits out on Wembley Way?
If you're a real fan, why did you get your tits out at the stadium in front of Holocaust Memorial?
Because that's my thing.
Didn't you also go into a teenager's WhatsApp group chat and show off explicit part of yourself?
I didn't go into a group chat full of 14-year-olds advertising my stuff, and that's one thing.
Did you not also promote your premium pages to children on another user's content? That's really rich coming from you, isn't it? Really rich, love.
I was so embarrassed to sit there and be a part of it all, and the event knew it was happening. It was planned. I was assaulted at the face-off and then again after. Elle grabbed my face and then kicked me pretty hard in the stomach, which is fine, I can take that. But I was the one that was picked up and dragged off the stage.
I was just editing this, boys, and I just noticed something. She said that she was picked up and dragged off the stage. Now, we're going to watch this back in slow motion. Now, just bear with me, right? I'm going to talk over it, right? Okay, here we go. There's the kick. And then the security guard leads it off. And then the security guard doesn't do anything. You walk off the stage by yourself. Doesn't that seem a bit weird? Hey, is this bending the truth?
She stayed on with a mic and continued to slander me during Ed and Simon's face-off, to which at that point I couldn't defend myself because I'd already been dragged off the stage.
Yeah, because they're not going to carry off Brock Lesnar, are they, fam? What are you talking about? Also, many of the other fighters were like, that's what happens during a face-off. There's a push and a shove. This is what happens at a face-off. Have you never seen boxing before? I'm starting to question whether Astrid has ever seen an actual boxing fight or even a press conference of anything to do with UFC or boxing. This stuff happens. And as I say again, it's all part of it. The whole thing is you're meant to be selling the fight and you're meant to have like the general beef with each other, but you're not really I don't understand what you're complaining about. This doesn't even seem like your words. It seems like some sort of management has got involved in this video and given her a script of what to say.
Then when she walked off, there was another little brawl and she pretty much dragged me back onto the stage by my hair. I went back into my dressing room and nobody from Kingpyn came to check on me. In fact, someone popped their head around the corner to ask if I was ready for another interview.
I generally actually agree with her on this. I think Kingpyn should have checked on her. I generally think that someone should have made sure she was okay. But at the same time, again, I feel like this is just digging for like a problem that doesn't exist. Like, you've put yourself in this situation, love, like no one else has.
The way that she acted during the press conference is a real concern for my safety for the actual fight. What's to stop her from headbutting me or kicking me or going for the back of the head, for example? She's already stated plenty of times that she wants to kill me.
Oh my God. See, this is where I start to think the reason why she pulled out of this is, one, because she's scared of fighting her because she knows she's going to get battered. Two, also, which will be brought up with the whole social blade thing, or whatever it is that's coming up, which Elbrook will kindly tell you all about.
So as you probably have seen, Astrid has pulled out of our fight on the 16th of July. I just want to clear up some slander that was directed at both myself and Kingpyn. Firstly, I'd like to say that Kingpyn have been nothing but helpful, professional and supportive. They have taken all necessary precautions to keep us safe. It's also worth noting that the vast majority of things that are said and done are publicity stunts. They are designed to create hype and interest. It was quite clear that Astrid had taken the role of the innocent underdog. So in order to sell the fight, I had to be the unhinged one to push the hate and beef. So for Astrid to use this as an excuse for pulling out of the fight just doesn't wash. I'd also like to highlight the message that Astrid sent to Social Gloves before the press conference. She will say not to read into it, but it's one big hell of a coincidence to send that message and then drop out of your current promotion a few days later.
It does seem like it's on a bit of a coincidence that maybe why she put out this event, because she'll be part of a more popularized one with bigger social creators than this fight currently. So, something to think about.
Now, there are no head guards, so this is no joke. There are no drugs testing clauses in the contract. I believe that all fighters should be tested for illegal substances before a fight. I honestly don't know why the organisers don't insist on this. I train clean and I have nothing to hide, and take this how you want, but I don't look unnatural.
Again, she does actually bring up a valid point. All fighters should be tested. And the reason for no head guards, I feel like because promoters are looking for more knockouts, for more of those spectacular big moments. But with this, I don't know. I'm a bit 50-50 on this one. Should head guards be used? Should they not? Put it down in the comments, because I'm 50-50 on it. However, you didn't state that in your own contract clauses. What a lot of people don't understand with these social media fights is that both sides do actually get a say in what ounce gloves they use, what would they want to happen, and they can influence the organisers to change a decision or even have the organisers change certain fights so they do have head guards. It's completely up to her and her team. Again, with this whole contract clause about what was written in contracts, we have to take her word for it because, again, there's no proof of the contract. It will probably never be released, so we don't know that so far, but we have to take it as face value, sadly, on this one.
The headline sponsor that my team sorted were due to be signed straight after the press conference. I can't name who they are. They pulled out because of the antics of the event, attributing poor behaviour.
I feel like the reason the sponsors would have pulled out of your fight is because of who you are as a content creator. You are trouble. You bring nothing but trouble with you wherever you go. Plus, with the whole fight thing, they might have not seen it as a massive financial gain as well. There's also that element. Because at the end of the day, sponsors are sponsoring people to make money. That's the whole point of it. It's for them to have a face on their brand so people go, oh, yes, it's Boba Fett. Let's go buy this product. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not... That's the reason why I think they may have pulled out. Saying that it's because of the behavior of the fight, no, I don't believe whatsoever. Again, people were sponsoring the Logan Paul and KSI fight. Why? Because they were massive content creators. They had massive influence over people. So that's why they would do it. They wouldn't care what would have happened. Despite even Logan doing some stuff in a forest a few years ago, he'd still be sponsored by someone. Because why? He's massive.
The final straw for us today were when the tickets went on sale. They have made the full downstairs area standing, which is so unsafe for the fighters. I have genuine concern for all of the fighters' safety at this event.
The whole thing about the standing area, it can be a problem, but if you've ever been to a football game, like, most people stand anyway, but there are chairs for people to sit down. I can see why this could be a safety concern. She doesn't really go to explain why this would be a safety concern. So if she was to clarify that, I could maybe comment more on it, but I can't really. But this is another thing I feel like trying to find a problem out of nothing. Just to sort of back up her own point of bollocks.
I have been training hard for the last 2 months, training twice a day, 6 days a week.
Fighting so stiff, like a robot. Come on, girl, I've seen your videos. I know what you move like. You're more fucking flexible than that, love.
I don't want to be associated with some of the things that happened at the press conference, which showed a huge disrespect to the sport. Some of you are going to say I'm a pussy or a chicken for pulling out and not fighting.
Yeah, you are a pussy.
But so be it. It takes more guts to say this and pull out than participate in an event where the organisers and my opponent don't share the same respect for the sport of boxing that I do. In my opinion, the event is an absolute freak show where we're just being put up to be laughed at, and not because we want to be good fighters. I've had other offers for other fights, so I am looking at other opportunities. So don't worry, guys, you're going to see Astrid fight this year at some point, just with an opponent who respects me.
Just with an opponent that you can beat and is bigger on like followers than you, basically. That's the only reason why. Come on now, let's not kid ourselves. Come, I know you're naughty, you're teasing me. To round up basically what she said, it's all bollocks. I generally believe, right, that Astrid's management team have pulled out of this event because it's not on a big enough scale for them to push her and her career. I generally think that they are going to this new event because it will feature bigger social stars than the ones currently in this TikTok one. Fair enough, is it a good move? Yes, but at the same time, it's kind of scummy considering the fight is just a month away and her boxing isn't great. She's literally going to get absolutely pummeled by Elle Brooke, and I have no doubts it will be an easy fight for Elle. But then again, we'll never find out. Maybe after she does this event, they might do another event where they fight. I would like to see the fight just to see how bad it would go for her, but then again, it is what it is. As I say, the management have definitely had a lot of involvement in what she has said in this video. I don't believe any of this is her own words. Picking out small problems where there's not really even a problem, but trying to find a sort of loop to back up her point where there's literally no conclusive evidence of any of it. I was going to do a fight prediction on who I thought was going to get called out after who wins, but I generally believe the Simon and Ed Matthews fight, I feel like I want Simon to win, but it definitely won't happen just because if you saw the punch at the press conference here, Simon didn't take it well. I'm sorry, man, you didn't. But if Ed Matthews does win, I feel like Joe Weller or even Deji could get called out afterwards, so we could see a fight there. More likely Joe Weller because he took the mick out of HS Tiki Toki, which is one of Ed Matthews' friends. Even though they squashed that beef, but I feel like that would be a good career move for Ed to fight Joe Weller. Deji could be an option, but I don't really want to see Deji fight again like you saw the last time. With Elle Brooke winning or trying to find a new opponent, I believe she'll fight The Undertaker again. Fuck, I can't do it. I can't do it. Nah, I can't. I could definitely see someone like Elle Brooke fighting Minx, considering the Clash of Creators event went so good for Minx. She's like a proper brawler, so I can see that happening. Anyway, I'd fight Ed Matthews if he won, but I'm irrelevant, so there we go. Anyway, boys, if you liked today's video, I will be making a lot more. I've also got some new content in the works as well. I also stream on Twitch. I upload to TikTok, and my Discord server's there as well. Anyway, boys, thanks for all listening. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and I'll see you a lot in the next one. Take care now. Bye. Fighting so stiff, like a robot. Come on, girl. I've seen your videos. I know what you move like. You're more fucking flexible than that, love.